because I still need to check our voice levels. So
I think we're good. Let's see. If nobody
you
complains, if
always have to check eyes to glass on the end result.
I know. Actually, we're live. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Hello out there.
Yeah,
Magda, good to
today.
see you.
Yeah. Hey, Magna, how are you? Thank you guys for attending to the call. Here we are again to talk about shmups and whatever. Rochelle Palma, hello. Today, as we as promised, we're back to talk about shmups a little bit more and to react, not limited to, but react to some good old Gradius being played by super players. Audio is good to know.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah. We are we're going to as we discussed on the previous episode, check some super players playing Gradius the way it should be. Is there this thing? What do you think? Do you think that is there a thing like the way it should be, or they're just like, is there too pretentious? I don't know.
What part? Wait. What part of
The
super
way
players
it
being
should
too pretentious?
no, the way it should be. I think it's wrong, right? You play it whether you play it whenever you like it. Like you play since you're having fun. It's fun.
Oh,
Like
I
you.
see. I think at the end of the day, right? Like, especially when people play competitively, it comes down to when you're trying to be a super player, then you're doing everything you can to, to break the game, right? To get the most out of it, and that's fun for you. I mean, look, that's what games are, right? They're combinations of rules that all gamers are trying to, bend, break, and get around to get the best results, right?
Yeah. Just to give you some context about Gradius. What exactly is how the difficulty ramps up across the episodes. First, we're using official Konami videos. These videos are part of the campaign they're doing for the Gradius collection. Gradius, what's the name of this package again? Forgot the
It's the
name.
new,
Yeah,
we just had it. We were talking about last week, right?
yeah, it's a big release they're doing for they're packaging up several Gradius episodes, Gradius 1, 2, 3, Salamander 1, 2, and releasing Salamander 3. We don't have
Gradius Origins, right?
yeah, we don't have
Mhm.
all the videos yet. We have Gradius 1, 2, and 3 for sure, Salamander 1, Life Force, and Salamander 2. No, I think we have everything. We just don't have Salamander 3 for obvious reasons, but anyway. It's so we're going to watch what they do, how they play, and comment. The Gradius 1 is pretty methodic. It's pretty it's not too heavy on memorization. Gradius 2 is a slightly more complicated, but Gradius 3 is allegedly the hardest. And I'm curious to see how they're coming up. But so whatever you guys are ready, we can start rolling and see how they play Gradius 1.
I mean, let's see some emotes in chat. I see a few. I think we're getting close to being ready. Zurki, by the way, it's been a month. What's happened in your world? Game development, working, playing, releases, pixel pilots.
A lot.
Just the updates. A lot of life was lived, eh?
Yeah. Organizing the event, the marathon is quite complicated, especially if I'm doing it by myself this time. By the way, if anyone here about Hauser, where are you? Give us a shout or a word. But anyway,
yeah, we were just talking about Hauser for a bit. We haven't seen the guy in a while, so hopefully he's okay. So
what happened to Hauser?
I know it exactly, right? Where's Waldo? Where's Hauser?
Yeah, where's Hauser? Anyway, but we're working on. I'm working on organizing this event, the marathon, and I know it's. I've done this twice in the past, but this time we're spreading the event across 2 days because we're absolutely overbooked, which is good, by the way.
Phenomenal.
It's
Like
very
everyone
good,
just popped
actually.
out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
basically filled all the slots in, and I mean, almost just a few hours, right?
yeah. Yeah, I think on the next day we were fully booked. Like, and then we decided to okay. I checked the mailbox and I said, okay, tomorrow I will say we're not accepting more applications. And on the next day, I checked the mailbox again, and we had like twice the amount of applications. Said no,
Mhm.
I think we better like spread this across 2 days, because this is probably gonna be more than 24 hours of streaming. Of course, this is not something I expect from you guys to watch in a row, and I'm not expecting to do it in a row. That's why I'm splitting in 2 days. But yeah, this is gonna be the longest event ever, the biggest event ever we've done. And in the future, just to let you know, I'm gonna do this for international community here on Pixel Pilots. So this event, the event we're talking about, is gonna happen on Shmups BR, not here. And it's for the South American, mostly Brazilian audience. In the future, probably about November, I'll about say probably by the end of the year, I want to do another one for the same thing, but here for the international community. And not sure how it's going to be, not sure in terms of audience or whatever, but let's see. We have to try, right?
So quick show in chat. Type a 1 if you've attended any of the BR Maratona events in the past. This is going to be the third one. So
hey, Bruno Drago is from Brazil.
yeah, what's up, Bruno?
And longtime friend. He's from Canal 3 as well. Actually,
Awesome.
it's Canal 3, just to clarify to you guys, they are one of the sponsors of this year's event as well. I'm a proud member of. I know. I just want to say a couple of words about this, because it's relevant.
No, say your words. Let's just get some moving pictures. We don't need to be like moment to moment commentating. We got hours of video footage, right? For
Okay.
the Superplays. All the kids want to see the cool stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. I can talk about that later, maybe. Let's see. Let's watch this one. Gradius one for you guys.
I still want you to talk about it, right? Like I want to hear about Canal 3 and BR and the things.
Yeah.
I just thought we could. If you want, we can run some other video too. Just some video of like whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, let's start on Gradius 1 and let's see how these guys, what they do and how they do it. Let's see. Okay, Gradius 1 for you guys. Gradius Collection, yeah, Origin Collection.
Dude, I've already pre-ordered it, and then I realized I pre-ordered it on Steam. So
yeah, I'm getting mine straight from Japan. I don't trust.
Awesome.
I don't trust our friends from LRG, because the L bit is a little bit too evident.
Yeah, it is a little too few. Yeah, but I know it's also tight margins. I get it. It's tough. So, but so Zorky. So all right. So we've got when's the BR Maratona 3? Is it like coming up in less than 2 weeks, right?
Yes, June the 12th, July the 12th, actually.
I was like, oh,
and July the 12th and the 13th. So
sweet. Yeah. I know Elrock is going to be there and helping. That's cool. She's over in chat right now too.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Just saw her here. Yeah. Hey, Elrock. How are you?
And then Magna, are you showing anything for Shmups BR3? Are you for anything for Tastran or your second game?
This bit on through the Vulcan, there's to the mountain over there. I'm not sure if does it make any changes on the gameplay on the arcade version. On the MSX version, you unlock a secret stage, and I guess you just get points if you go through the mountain to that cave on the first bit.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
So are you a laser shot person or are you a ripple shot?
Depends.
Or does the answer depends?
I guess it depends. Depends on the game. Depends on the. I guess the repo is more like for crowd control, when laser is pretty good for crowd control as well. But I guess it's more like a boss killer. If you get if you get the if you use the repo in some bosses, it gets blocked by objects on the screen. Like it hits something and don't get to the boss, especially the boss with the narrow layers you have to destroy and to get to the core. This bit here, you see. That 4 barriers over there. If you're using the repo, I feel the hitbox gets kind of messed up and you don't hit anything.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're saying there. I looked. He took out the double volcano with no problem. I mean, a lot of Gradius, a lot of the Superplays come down to that, right? Find your right position, exploit the weapon, minimal movement, rinse, repeat it. So, yeah, super interesting. Also interesting when you see like super runners or speed runners, in some of these cases, because it's not really like the bosses are really the only variable aspect. So how fast you can actually kill the bosses, right? So unless you have some camera stops and arena bits that are in some games too. By the way, Elrock says, woo, let's go international. It's going to be exciting. And Magnus says, oh, not really. Haven't had any time to consider that. Yeah, Magnus been crunching pretty hard on it's not, what's your second game, Magna? I always want to call it Tastrion 2, but it's not, right? Like it's something else. And then Elrock says, I'm good getting some stuff done for Maratona. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Then,
I had the impression that this hitbox is kind of messed up as well. I think I saw the guy crossing through one of those white blocks that was supposed to kill the ship. But anyway, they're Konami.
Yeah.
They're Konami. They're not us. If they're using cheats, it's not on us. Like Konami. We're just reacting to it.
How they're doing their collision calculations. So, I mean, that's one of the Cave old school tricks, right? Is they only run collision detection every other frame, right? So sometimes you can just right through an object, generally a bullet, and they're like, whatever.
Not to mention,
hard enough.
Not to mention, we're talking like kind of Old Testament shmups here. So. The ships were like supposed to be like an absolute sprite, like anywhere on the sprite you hit, you die. But no, doesn't seem like.
Yeah, maybe they modernized it. I'm very curious.
Yeah, M2 is cooking some stuff here, maybe.
Yeah, no, they've done some pretty great ports these days. So,
I love
they've gone through the gauntlet.
Man, look at the amount of speed ups this guy is using. And this bit is super hard with lots of speed ups. Oh, damn it, the Moai stage. I usually, first time when I die and I'm playing Gradius is on this stage. Gradius 1.
Yeah, the Moais are great.
Every time I die, every now and then, on the MSX, this stage is ridiculously hard.
I forgot how much verticality is in this section too. So super interesting.
You can scroll up and down, yeah. I think you can scroll infinitely up and down.
There's my game design brain screams a little bit because I really like the idea of nothing like can escape. You have to kill everything, and that's when it feels like it's all locked in. Just my own kind of game design bits. So every time it's like, oh, you have vertical scrolling, and I know I'm leaving enemies behind. I'm like, oh man, like
One thing I find interesting is I think he switched to double and then back to laser. I think this stage was kind of have this level design for like in purpose, like for to force you switch to double, because like the hitting the Moai mouths with the laser is a nightmare.
Yep.
Especially because the stage scrolls up and down. Isn't it a shame that every boss in Gradius 1 is the same boss? What this guy is doing? Jeez.
Yeah, they're not. It was all these games were made under extreme duress back in the day, right? Like games were getting cooked in like 5 to 8 months. And you're finishing one and you're already working on the next one. It was very much a sweatshop. So yeah, but it also means that year over year, especially for the bigger franchises, they got to evolve them a little bit, right? So they're building on top of each other. So yeah, that's always been one of my And it's cool because Gradius, obviously Life Force, like that wasn't their thing back then too. So like all the bosses, the different bosses really made such a big difference. So, yeah.
By the way, guys,
Magnus
let us know what you think of the layout we're using. I thought it was pretty fun and nerdy to do that, but if you don't like it, well, deal with it because I'm gonna stick with this. Sorry, you were
Magnus
saying.
says, "Oh yeah, Automanta. Yeah, that's right. That's Magna's new game. Yeah, you're really starting to turn some corners there, Magna. So thought Atom Manta would have been too obvious. I'm weird like that. Love it. Devs back in the day were wizards performing sorcery. There's some truth in that. They're still technically wizards.
They use assembly, straight assembly. Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm. I've been very lucky. I still work with a few folks that were writing some hardcore low-level assembly.
No VS Code, no emulator, no anything. Like straight, just like you couldn't test anything live. You had to compile and test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Just hardcore. And I mean even the skills of people these days. I mean, those are so rare skills. So, and you still see it like when like one of the things that we're doing is we're porting our Interstellar 1 game to Unreal Engine 5, and which is a bit of overkill, and but eventually it'll be good for the studio. But there we're really having a hard time with getting basically 8,000 bullets, a fragment shader mapped to the GPU, making sure that you only have essentially like a SIMD, single instruction, multiple data sets, and then your updates back to the CPU. So like that, it's right out of the box. Like Unreal, you can do a lot, but you still need not assembly level understanding, but like you're going deep into the bowels of your Unreal Engine map, and then also your like rendering pipeline and a bunch of other things. So super cool.
Unreal Engine
really
is Unreal Engine it runs on C#, right?
C++.
C++. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, C# is the Xbox.
Unity's C# is Unity, is a Unity and JavaScript. So for Unity 3D.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, C#'s actually fairly. Not that I'm a coder, but it's like every level of abstraction. You can write bad code and everything, right? But it gets the job done.
Oh, he's killing the spaghetti meatballs stage.
Mm-hmm.
You see the tiny little salamander boss babies. Oh, don't kill the babies.
I don't have little blue squibs.
Yeah.
The balls and the ice stocks are always something that especially in Life Force, because that's where I first entered the genre. They really blew my mind back in the day when I was a kid. So
actually, good. No, I'm not spoiling this. Like I saw something amazing on the Salamander 2 run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you okay. See. Well, we're gonna see this. Super interesting. Like I had no idea that it would be possible, but the guy did it on the video. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Magnus says not just compiling stuff; they flat out made their own engines and had to also work with new tech and with limitations, which made people do some very creative workarounds. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, same thing. We were laughing about this back in the day, but I mean, essentially, games were kind of like glorified text editors when you were talking about rendering to screen. It was a lot of it was still manipulation with just straight up printing characters to the screen, and then how you updated them in the process that you updated them in. So you got a lot of interesting little like tricks that came out of that. So, which thanks to Nintendo and a bunch of PC Engine, a bunch of other like it's amazing to stand on the giants of these folks back then, because there was a whole other level to even get to basically these games that are still beloved. I mean, our industry and our community, I'm still just blown away that we care enough about these things that we've enjoyed for basically a lifetime at this point to preserve them, right? So say what you will about emulation and a bunch of other aspects of that, but if the fans weren't true fans, we would have lost a lot more in the game industry than we actually have.
I like this trick. What this guy do. Like he makes the boss like jumps. It's like skipping rope on top of the line of the option line.
Yep.
Also, I don't remember the NES version if you can get like 4 options. I don't think so. I think
yeah,
I think you get only 2
Yeah, it's 2 or 3. But I think the
due to
I don't
sprite
actually remember. It's been a while.
limitations. No, I
Yeah.
think it's 2.
That poor little machines.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine that the NES, the Famicom chip, was an arcade hardware back in the day? It's a pretty close to the arcade hardware. Well, same goes for the Genesis, the Mega Drive.
Yeah, definitely.
Stage is. I see a little bit of slowdown here and there, but it's so they basically didn't tune the game to eliminate the slowdowns. All the slowdowns are there, which is good, I guess. There's probably gonna be an option to do that. If I know M2, they're probably gonna do like the turbo no slowdown version. This is the last boss that this is the that's the
God, the
last
super players make it look boring. They're like,
it's-
there's no close calls. They're just like,
I would never use double on this boss. Never. But it's very clever what he's doing. He put a straight shot and the angle shot covering the two positions. I'm not sure if he's hitting the ball. No, yes, he is. Of course he is.
Yep. Who needs boss life bars?
Yeah.
Look at all that screen real estate. Ah, so good.
Yeah.
Laser.
I just think they of course this probably is not the last release, the definitive release, but I miss the panels here. I think there's too many. Don't you think? It used to be like when they do something for shot triggers, they used to put more panels on the side of the screen.
More gadgets on the sides.
Yeah, more gadgets.
Sure. Yep.
I miss the gadgets here. I would see
there's no
more
reason not
useless. I would like to see more useless information in boxes.
Yeah, totally.
I love the panels.
So, question from last month's episode for you. So, what is this? So the question is, what pulled you into your very first shmup, and does it still hold up when you revisit it today?
That's quite hard to answer, I guess. What put me on my first shmup? Well, the first shmup that I started like playing seriously was Zanek on the MSX. And what made me play it was basically the fact that Zanek was first super fun, second technically pretty impressive for a humble machine like the MSX, and it gave me the impression that I was playing an arcade game, like right in front of my eyes. Like if you compare to older games from the same day and age, like they looked. Zanek definitely was like something very, very modern, but it's super fun. It's super addictive, and I don't know. I think it was the. I don't know the word in English for this, but it's the quality of making you addicted to something. Addictiveness. I don't know if it's even a word, but
yeah, I mean that works. That is what addictive is.
Yeah, it makes you get back for more, you know. And I think that was the factor that because
but
like some
what part of it was the addictive part.
Well, for example, just saying I have nothing against R-Type or Darius. I quite like those games. I loved them, played it a lot, and that's the end for you. One of the easiest bosses ever.
I know, right? Ugh.
There we go. That was Gradius 1/1 CC for you. But just
Made it look
complimenting, no, let's go for Salamander right now. Okay, just let me finish the question. But I guess, for example, on R-Type and Darius, for example, I play them, I beat them, and I don't get back to them anytime soon. It's like how can I explain? They are way more challenging than fun to play. You know, I feel they are like they are a challenge. Of course, it's like playing like it's like making a 1,000 piece puzzle. When you finish it, you don't want to destroy it and restart from scratch. Like you're happy that you accomplished that. You're happy that you beat it, but you don't want to get back to it. And in some games, I guess the Alesta series, especially, I'm a big fan. It's probably one of my favorite shmups ever at the whole series. But it's very addictive. Like it I don't know, somehow calls you for more. You know, invites you to get back to the game. And the weapon variety and the strategy variety, everything is very everything is, of course. Some things are hard coded. Some things, like once you dominate the strategy, you beat the game. But you have like different ways of getting the same result. You know, it's not like how you memorize your route and just get good at using one weapon and you're good. You want to try different weapons, and I think that's what make me like them so much. Okay, you guys ready for Salamander? Salamander or Life Force? Yeah, this is Salamander. This is the original game.
Salamander in Europe.
Yeah,
Life Force in the US.
Let's go for it. 3, 2, 1, go. Salamander for you.
Yeah, I think I mean, Xanacat was really interesting for the weapon power-up system, but also it kind of got you the feeling of being in a bigger world. I don't know, like it felt like you were kind of, like you had the, and I didn't play a ton of it, but you felt like you were kind of progressing. It had a bit of an adventure flavor to it, and you would fight the, like the conglomerations of the, I don't know, they can run with little bases and things, right? So, oh man, I always Ripple. I got this game deep in my brain. By the way, do we have audio for the video on stream?
Yes.
Okay, cool, awesome.
I'm just keeping it a little bit low because.
Yeah, of course. We don't want to be blowing
it out. It tends to get a little bit crazy with when capturing 2 microphones and third audio. But anyway, let's see.
Metal Wolf says, not sure how long I'll stay for, but I might watch the rest of this later. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Metal. Thanks for stopping by, by the way. Oh man, so this is so good. This is probably what I'm most excited about. The thing with Life Force is that it really just got me, I don't know, so excited to have all we were like flying through the organic kind of demonic realms. Like I was such a young dude when I encountered this. Like even just like the fleshy, like the way that the walls are building up here, right? And you shot your way through them, they regenerate. Like it just really captured. Like I remember my brain would just go, whoa, this is like, I mean, holy crap. I don't even think I was a teenager yet, right? So I was pretty close. But it really just like captured my attention. I'm glad to see him using Ripple here.
And it's
just about everything too.
It's interesting because I was first presented to this game on the MSX, and it's a totally different game. I mean, the elements are there, but the gameplay is totally messed up. Like, it's totally different. Of course, they had to. Fun fact, Konami had 3 teams back in the day. This look at that. The way this guy is gonna kill the brain is amazing.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Let's watch this together, and then I'll say what I'm going to say about the Konami teams.
Hello, I've got a handy arm stock.
Yeah, look at that.
Arm stocks.
He lured the arms up, and then he's going to position the. Look at that. This is genius.
There you go, man. Brutal. Oh.
That's cool. But anyway, Konami had 3 teams back in the day: arcade,
look at the
NES,
vertical.
and MSX. MSX was the oldest and smallest of the three. And fun fact is, one team didn't talk to the other.
Naturally.
They just had a brief idea of what they had to develop and said, okay, now you develop it, now you do your Salamander, and they end up making 3 different games. So,
And you know the funny thing is that still a pretty modern occurrence in companies, right? Like,
yeah.
especially as you know, as you get more teams and more tech stacks, and half the challenge is trying to understand how we're not remaking the wheel by every team to solve the same set of problems. So,
But quick question: what do you think of this flashing on the background on this stage? I don't remember this on the NES. I think it's only on the arcade version. It flashes somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me take a look. I missed it. I looked away.
Yeah, every now and then it flashes like a thunder or lightning. It just happened once, but anyway.
Yeah, and now of course it's not going to happen because you're looking for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this
But
boy, this boss is terrifying the first time you get it to it. Like the arm starts to stretch to reach you.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, I just circle this guy and kill it, and no. It's not how it goes.
Man, I wish I had that many options when I was playing this as a kid. That would have been great.
I think on the NES is also 2 options, right? The limit on this game.
Yeah, I think it was 2. One thing is for sure is I'll definitely be playing this. Let's take a look at chat real quick.
The first time I saw this game, okay, yeah. No, the meteors is not destructible. No. There's a lot of indestructible objects on this game.
Dude, look at the fire gouts here. Those are so brutal, and the fire dragons. Oh man,
I used to have this memorized. Today I'll probably die like 10 times in a row until I remember everything. But I remember I had this memorized.
And that's the thing is, I think back
this
then
one
there
is
was a lot of like it was expected to high memo was a big part of how these were played, especially as they got harder and harder because players got better and better, right? The lasers totally remind me of like pixie sticks in graphics.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice now that they mentioned.
Magnus says, also, I really like Salamander. It may or may not have influenced some of my design choices. I know, it's so good. And it definitely has. That's one of the reasons why I love your games and your style, Magna. Elrock says, this is the first time I saw this game, so the dropping stones, meteors are not... Oh, yeah, you read that. So, yeah. Magnus says, really love design. Yeah, the flames are great, right? And the great, crazy, like, dragon here. Oh, man. Not to be confused with the terrible space vampire movie, Life Force.
Actually, Life Force was based on another movie, the Fantastic Voyage or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's so weird. I mean, it's been such a long time since I played this, but I mean, I had this all unlocked, but I forgot. Like, it's interesting. Games influence you, and you play them, and then you go back, and you're like, oh, I really liked these ideas, but I forgot that they were here. So, for instance, like the switching between horizontal and verticals, like levels that was pretty cool. I mean, that was one of the first times I think I'd ever experienced anything like that back in the day. So
it's fun because it's kind of it changes the aspect ratio of the game. Like you're going from 3x4 to 4x3, so it's somehow changes the way you play it. Like you can see more screen and get ready for enemies. You have more time to react to enemies when you're playing on horizontal. And in vertical mode, I think things tend to like blow in your face more quickly. But it's an interesting choice.
oh man, I died so many times in this section.
and this guy is going to the top of the screen, so he definitely memorized everything.
Like,
definitely memorize everything.
I was watching STG Spiders, one of his last videos. I think the last one he put up about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago or so. And it was really great. And he makes this little like introspection about the fact that in the shmup community, a lot of people will say that memorizing is not fun, right? Like, and he's like, well, I mean, that, you know, like maybe we should actually revisit this assumption that memorizing isn't fun, because I mean,
look at that. Look at
that, right?
Look at what this guy is doing now.
Yep, he's got the sweet spot. Look at him.
He's not fighting the boss. He's going to wait for the boss to die.
Why?
Not good. Because I don't know. I think it's easier. I think he didn't get a good positioning with the options, so he decided not to fight the boss. And once you expire the time limit, the boss kills itself, and that's it.
Yeah, so in my game, Interstellar 1, I got this basically a level that is one big boss fight arena and then a cosmic thing. It's on level 4, and it's a whole level, and my levels are a little bit longer, in that like 7 to 9-ish, 9.5 minute range. So it's a long time to be focused. I do have some breaks in there as things transition, but one of the things I had found, and I'm curious what your opinion is on this. So I added a timeout to the boss because it got so intense at the end, and some players, they just couldn't finish. So I eventually put a timeout in there, and then the boss goes away. There's one part of me that completely hates that, right? But there's another part of me that's like, well, if it gets so frustrated to the point where they lose interest, then maybe it's better to move them on. What do you think?
Look
at the size of these meteors.
I don't think it's a big problem, because if the player managed to get to the last boss and just don't understand what's going on, to why it's not like killing the last boss, or maybe the player thinks he or she killed the last boss. I would just add something, I don't know, a joke or something like, yeah, you think you did it, but you don't, ha ha ha, something like that. But but apart from that, no, don't think it's a problem. Like they'll probably like feel like, oh well, why I'm reading this, why I see this, like what, I didn't kill the boss, but I killed the boss, and then they'll try to play it again, and maybe that they get good and kill the boss. But I don't think it's a problem, not at all. In Gradius, most of the bosses you don't even fight the last boss. Like in Gradius, it's a kind of, in Salamander is another story, but in Gradius you don't fight the last boss. Like you get to the last boss and you wait and it dies. So you can even say you can even say it's not your idea. You can say you're being a traditionalist.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's from playtesting. I personally, I like the satisfaction of destroying the boss. Although, look, I mean, I also played, I got my 1cc in a Kai Katana Shin. I was practicing that a bunch last year, and I was elated when I got that done. And all the mini bosses have their timeouts, right? So, which I think is totally fine. Not the end bosses though. So there's something I also like about being locked in, like the ultimate battle. You're either going to, defeat the boss, or you're going to die trying, right? So. There's something that feels good to me, but I also recognize, I mean, look, it's not always a one size fits all, right? So, and
look what this guy is doing to kill the mini court. Things that you never do in the arcade. Look at that.
Right there, that as well, right?
No.
Man, nutty.
Yeah.
Dude, what's up with these like slightly lighter tan bullets on tan background? It's so awful.
Can you imagine how long took this guy to get this good?
Yeah, probably. I mean, even if even if they're like a super player or a prodigy, like, I mean, you're probably looking at hundreds of hours of effort. But there's something too, right? Like it's like once you've memorized a routine and you're dialed in, you're in that focus state. You're like you're the master of the machine at that point. It sort of builds on itself too, because the challenge is to completely stay in that state, right? So you're not losing focus, getting bored. I think that's the thing is like once you get really good, you see it with speedrunners all the time too, right? Like when speedrunners are playing, they know the points in which they can like wait for a transition or a little mini cutscene or whatever it may be, so then they can read chat or talk or do whatever they need to, and then go right back to that focus, right? But you kind of you're not going to do this all off of reflexive memory. You have to put it in the the long term. Magnus says, timeouts may be an interesting idea. I'll write that down. But at the point, maybe add an easy mode or some kind of aid to the player would motivate the player to keep fighting. Yeah, Magna, I think the thing there is so in that particular boss fight, and you know the ones I'm talking about, so this is the Gradius and Nada big brute boss fight in Cosmic Space in Interstellar 1. And right there, towards the end of the fight, I actually have the power-up givers coming in, and they're giving you super replenishments. But even then, people are white-knuckling so hard in the fight, and this isn't it's hard to say, right? Everyone's at different points in the journey, but they're white-knuckling so hard that they don't even see the power-ups. So, and I was like, all right. And that's for like the final 2.5 minutes of the fight in that case. So I was like, all right, so it's an interesting one, like where you want to meet players. There's a lot of people that are very like design-wise are just like, I had this really good conversation with Boghog, I don't know, a bunch of months ago, and it was the idea of difficulty curves, right? So do you design an unapologetic, man, that done. Design an unapologetic difficulty curve where just from the onset, it's as hard as you want to make it for that difficulty level. And if you make like an easy mode, then it's a different difficulty curve at that, right? And so ideally, you're kind of leading players skill-wise through each of the difficulty levels to give them a sense of progression and accomplishment. Even better if you like have a meta progression system that supports that. So some really interesting thinking there. I tend to like dynamic difficulty a bit more. But I don't know, like also like at some point I'll probably do some ranges for my games where I do like here's our more meaty bullet hell kind of experience. Here's our extra like enemy waves type of thing. So I don't know, it's interesting in terms of shmup design. So I think about it quite a bit.
Okay, we saw Salamander. Now we're going to see Life Force. There's some slight subtle differences between the two games here, but it's noticeable. Pretty cool way of escaping the last tunnel. The guy did.
That was nutty.
And now he's playing the player 2 ship. He's playing on player 2 side. And as you can see, you can select the power-ups here. So that's Life Force. Life Force was a beautiful cartridge on the NES, I remember.
Yeah, it really was.
Not as beautiful as Salamander on the Famicom because it's a blue transparent cartridge, but like it's cool as well.
Man, this just reminds me that I want to get back to working on my stuff this afternoon. It's nice that we're taking some time off to just hang out and shoot the shit. This is great. This is super inspiring.
No, I think, well, if you don't stop and take a break and, I don't know, give yourself some headspace to think about what you're doing, like you end up committing all kinds of silly mistakes. So I think it's super healthy to have take some time and talk to people and hear people and
yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that happens to me too is every time I sit down doesn't mean I'm in the right space or the right mindset to do the work that I want to do, right? Like it's different kinds of work, like different kinds of design. Like sitting down and scripting a boss, that's a whole other like set of muscles versus like scripting bigger action set pieces, right? And things like that. When you're trying to create like the overall flows of the the game state. Dude, there's just something so good about shooting through these. Look at this. And then when you get in there and they come in from behind you, I wish I could build that. That would be so good.
Hola Juan, how are you? Juan Husabred.
Hey Juan.
Yeah, let's see if he's going to use the same. He's going to do the same thing, the same strategy for this boss.
Mm-hmm.
But he's using, I think he's using the Ripple now, not the laser. I know he was using the Ripple on the previous run as well.
He was. Look at that, dude. Okay,
Did you notice that he didn't map the missile and laser button to the same button? That's the first thing I do every time I play a Gradius.
Interesting.
For some, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand why. If there's something strategic, so I don't know. Is there any situation?
It would only be timing. It would be a timing situation where maybe you need to create a secondary set of timing to cover. I mean, if you got the missiles, then it's about your, or your double. It's about covering the sides, right? So if you have them completely always firing on the same button press, that would be the main thing. If I were to guess.
You see here,
there's that flash that you were talking about.
Yeah. Here there's some.
I don't know.
Here there's some sprite changes. You see the asteroids. They swap to these organic some bubbly thingies.
Totally. That might have been the first revenge bullets you saw when those enemies were killed and they launched off a bunch of their their bullets on death.
Yeah, I don't remember this being used before Salamander.
Here we go. I was gonna say something else too. I totally missed it.
It's an organic version of the boss.
Magda says the colors in this version pop so good. Yeah, it really is gorgeous. Magda is completely in love with 16-bit. And I have to say, like, watching them put together their art for their game has been a real treat. They really capture a lot of, like, truly what 16-bit, with that kind of pixel art sprite or pixel art style really is. So,
yeah, now the flames are blue.
Yeah, interesting.
It feels kind of weird, but anyway.
It does feel weird. Why? I don't know. Like, man, why not? I guess, but
it's. Yeah, I don't know. For me, this bit always like remind me of an ocean or something, not fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I don't know. Still cool, but weird.
It's pretty funny a lot of times when people are talking about my own art style that we do for our games. They're like, need more frames of animation. I was like, yeah, we've got between 4 and 8 frames. There's a few cases where we'll do more, but that's pretty much what you got. When I look at something like this, I'm like, it gets the job done. I'm like, you know.
And I would say, like, you will die with 120 or 1, so why bother?
No, different frames. I mean, frames of animation. Not frame rate, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, but yeah, frames. Oh, look, a third shoot in the back, and in the front of the ship. I think this is
super interesting.
I think this doesn't happen on Salamander, only on Life Force.
Yeah, no, it only happens here.
There are accumulated shields in the back of and the sides of the ship as well. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the next one is Gradius 2, where there's that annoying enemy that steals your option.
Oh yeah,
that looks like a scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty much the same. No big changes.
It looks like the video. Let me take a look. Let me refresh the feed. Ah, there we go. I think I just fell off the live edge. All right. Magnus says blue flames are hotter than red, so
yeah.
totally.
But the objective here in this game is they swapped some of the sprites to make the game look more organic, because according to the according to the Gradius lore, Life Force is a game that's happens inside someone, just like Fantastic Voyage. They're trying to save someone from a virus, cancer, disease, something like that, alien parasite or something like that. So this is technically not the same thing as Gradius. Like, you're not seeing an alien invasion here. I mean, you are, but in the microscopic sense.
Well, and I mean, that's the whole justification of the organic side of this, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's one of the things I am a huge Castlevania nerd on top of it, right? Like, there are definitely more huge nerds than I am, but one of the reasons why I love Castlevania is because same thing with like Contra back in the day. It's like the less on the alien side, but more on the demonic crazy side, like just the like what, and organic and kind of biohorror also are part of that too. So it definitely left its marks on me when I was young.
I
like
quite like Castlevania, but I definitely suck at it. Definitely.
I mean, mostly kind of just depends. I mean, I know I can see myself possibly getting back into running guns at some point. I want to combine. I want to like take maybe a little inspiration from like Blaster Master as well. Combine a little bit of like run and gun with some more shmup elements, and have like, I really would love, like, in my mind, the way I build games is I'm like, I imagine something that like I get excited about, and then I try to figure out if I can build that. So I would love to build a case where you're flying around with your crazy wings or your superpower, and then you do this like dive to the ground, and then you do a giant, like, it's almost like a on-demand bomb at that point. So, and then it becomes a run and gun at that, at that point. You can have these kind of really fast run and gun sections.
What I intend to do, of course, I'm pretty sure that we will end up not doing this because the project is already getting too complicated, but is to somehow redo, of course, not remake, because I'm not going to remake something that is almost perfect, but I want to do my own version of Guardian Legend.
Yeah. Oh man, Guardian Legend blew my brain as a kid.
Which mix up RPG and shmup elements, but and I think it's one of the best games ever done. Like, it's like it's hard for me to think about NES without Guardian Legend. Like, it's
well, the atmosphere was amazing. I remember, I think it was literally one of those things where house, they had already played the crap out of it. They're like, yeah, whatever. And so I let them borrow one of my games. And then I borrowed theirs, and I got home and I was like, okay, let me just see what's what. Had no idea, and what a treat. Like, it was amazing. Oh my God. It sucked me in so hard. And like, I didn't want to leave at all. So it was so good.
I remember a friend of mine when I was a kid, and he had Guardian Legend, and but he couldn't read English, so he didn't play the game. And I once borrowed the game, and I said, hey, look, you have, because he didn't know what to do in the game. Like, it's not that intuitive. Sometimes you have to understand what's going on. I mean, on the first, let's say on the early stages, you can kind of figure out, but halfway there, like, it's kind of, that's horrible. That's how do they manage to mess up this transition anyway? But then he didn't manage to beat the game because he couldn't read English, and I think he was kind of lazy as well, or expecting me to read for him. And then I said, look, let me take the game home and I play it, and then I'll tell you what to do. And I remember that guy. No, I remember and of course, like, we traded. Like, I gave him one of my games. I can't remember what game was it, but I remember that he liked the game so much that he he was the kind of refusing to give me back the game. He
Give
said,
back.
"No, man, I know you like my game, but I like it too, and I already beat this game, so you have to, you know." No, but you like it, I don't, and whatever. Things that happened back in the old age.
Yeah, youngster drama. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, I was an entrepreneur, and I would have all these NES games, and this was before you could rent games. So I basically opened a little like rental like business. You know, it was like $1 a day, right? But it also meant that I had to like go and collect my games from people that wouldn't give them back, right? And so it was interesting. That was my grade school hustle at that point. And
You
because
did you had like a bouncer or something that will like
no, it was just me.
big
Just little me.
big guy coming next to you and say, "Hey, you better give me back or else."
Yeah, no muscle jocks on my payroll.
Yeah, in Brazil, I think it's the only way it will work. Like you bring yourself a, I wouldn't say a bouncer. How could they classify?
Very intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone that can whoop ass, right? Where you're like, you don't want to mess with this guy. This person's going to kick your ass, you know, type of thing.
I don't want to say older brother because I was the older brother, but anyway, someone bigger than me.
I love the parallax with the panels opening here. It's so good.
And you see, 2 levels. That's fine. It's enough.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. What, like,
Yeah, he's
positioning. It's almost like a puzzle, like when we get to this level of play.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because like on vertical games like this one, these puzzle elements are not very evident. Like it's not very easy to squeeze in. And they definitely managed to do it here.
Yeah, definitely. Baggy says, "Oh man, Guardian Legend was cool." Yeah, absolutely. And they also say it wasn't Astrolancer, a spiritual successor to Guardian Legend. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Yeah, I think that came out just a couple years ago, right?
I'll check it out. I think I covered it in one of the drops.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's something I would like to. There's something I'd like to talk about on the next drops episode, but I'll throw it here just for you guys to. I want to see what you guys think about it. I had something like in back of my head a couple of days ago. Maybe rename the drops episode and start calling it like shmupdate. What do you think? Shmupdate.
Yeah, but I think that, if you want, it's clever. You know, I mean, not that a lot of people know what shmups are to begin with. Like,
Yeah.
So, you know, like I meet people all the time. They're like, "What's a shmup?"
Yeah.
But you also cover sometimes retro and run and
Yeah,
gun.
yeah.
Like, yeah, there's like subgenres, but I think it's cute. You know.
Yeah, maybe we'll end up confusing people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, look, people are confused no matter what.
Most people are confused
if
by
they're
nature.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Okay, that was Life Force with a flying spaghetti broccoli you killed by the end. That's it.
Yeah, I do have the Astrolancer on my list as well. They really, I think, captured a lot of what made Guardian Legend also pretty great. I showed it to my buddy. I think actually I showed him it because of your episode, and he was like, "Ooh!" Like, and he was a huge Guardian Legend head back in the day too.
That's definitely the game I would like to redo, Guardian Legend, and I'll definitely check it out. Astrolancer. I think I covered in one of the drops episodes, but I ended up not buying it.
You definitely did.
Okay, that was Life Force.
Too many games. Yeah.
Let's go for Gradius 2. Gradius 2, man, I think it's, in my opinion, is the best Gradius ever. I think it's when they managed to, understand what they wanted from the formula and deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gradius 2, 3, 2, 1, go. I think it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite.
Magda says, yeah, a couple of years ago, I beat it in a day. Very into it. Also, shmupdate. It sounds clever, but at the same time, I like the
Yeah, drops is simple. I like simplicity.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of the PC Engine version of this game.
What are they doing with their wallpaper here? This like green. It's like we got this military green thing.
No, it's the cover. The cover art is orange and green. I guess Gradius 2 is all about orange and green. They took a lot of inspiration from the Alien series, Alien movies.
Yeah.
So I guess
everyone did.
Yeah.
Everyone did back in the day. Like it's kind of crazy.
Like Contra, like I don't know, like write the name of a game here. Like,
I mean, how many times have we seen xenomorphs show up in games that were not Alien games, right? Like, the modern age people lose their shit over that, but they got away with it back then.
and I remember what else? Where else you can see Xenomorph? Well, definitely on Contra. Contra is definitely not an Alien franchise game, an official Alien game. What else?
This is pretty good. I forgot about this.
No,
Gradius 5
this
is probably my sweet spot, by the way.
this for this sequence, this initial sequence is amazing.
Big fireballs. Oh, they're so good. Planetary. Are these suns? What do you think? I guess it's a sun. I don't know. Or planet on fire.
I remember on Gradius 5 you have something similar, but the suns scream when they die. Why?
Yeah, that's right.
I have no idea why, but it's
So
fun.
weird. So
But it's
good.
fun.
Yep. Sometimes you just have to like not try to make too much sense of it. And just go with
Yeah,
it.
definitely. If it's fun, if it sounds good, keep it. It's the same thing with what is a man? It's a miserable pile of secrets. Same thing. That makes absolutely no sense, but keep it.
Yep,
People
yep,
love
totally.
it. Or the phrase on the Aero Fighters 2 Sonic Wings to gird your loins. Now I know that the phrase is very commonly used, but first time I hear it was like, what?
Gird your loins. Yeah,
Gird your
totally.
loin. I can't imagine a use case for this phrase, but anyway.
I am Sinistar.
Oh, come on.
Maggie says,
the guy-
everyone, Turrican, they had their xenomorph level.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, levels.
Metroid. Metroid is definitely Metroid is definitely a shameless alien ripoff.
Mega Turrican has an entire hive stage complete with actual xenomorphs. Yep, absolutely. Metroid, obvious. Yep. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets. Makes sense for lore purposes.
But yeah, they changed it, right? They changed it later. Look at this stage. Tell me if it's not the alien planet. It's very Giger-esque.
Yeah, but I mean that's very guy. Yeah, I was just gonna say a thing, right? Like, man,
very
Giger had such
Giger-esque.
you know, like when Alien came out in at least the States, the stories were that people had no idea what to expect, and they were reacting so viscerally to the movie that they actually handed out barf bags for you to go into the theater with. Imagine that. Here you go. You might need this.
Yeah. I was thinking about H.R. Giger was probably the guy that helped most people to design games and never got paid for it, right?
Yep, that's exactly the point I was making earlier.
Whatever he is, either heaven or hell, thank you for that. Look at
Oh man, God, there's so much stuff. I've got so many projects floating around in my brain, just in flight too. We are so down the rabbit hole right now on like mechs and cyber corpo punk. Oh, it's so good. Speaking of
Look
which,
at
did you catch anything from Steam Next Fest? Did you play any demos or see anything?
Yes, I played Truxton
Yeah.
Extreme. Truxton Extreme. I played the demo. I played live on my other channel on shmups BR.
Oh, awesome.
It's fun. It's
I think I
weird.
caught a little bit of that. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's weird, but it's fun. You know, the 16:9 vertical aspect ratio. I'll never get used to it, but I cannot say I didn't had fun playing the game. The first stage is super long, just like any other Truxton. The music, the remix is spot on, very good. The weapon system, I quite like it. I just don't like the new weapon, the white weapon. The white weapon sucks big time.
Why?
Basically the weapon, it's weak and ubiquitous. So you basically press a button and something you want to kill on screen takes a little bit of damage all the time. It's a homing shot, but it's super underpowered and it covers most of the screen. It spreads. I don't know. It's pointless. It has no focus, no fun. Like it's like powering down a bomb so much. You know, imagine like one of those bombs that kills smart bombs that kills everything on screen. But imagine that the bomb do like 1 hit point of damage every time you press the button. So it's disguised as a homing weapon because it hits everything on the screen, but it does very little damage. And it's visually super confusing because it's white and it has like a kind of a white light flare on it, so it fills up the whole screen and you don't see anything well. So I hated it. I avoided like the plague. This is what the other weapons are good. The other weapons are super cool, super fun. The overdrive mode, which is the third button. The Tucson always use 2 buttons. This game uses 3, actually 4. There's 1 button for speed, to change the speed of the game, your ship. But the third button, the overdrive mode, is super cool as well. Like it gives you a couple of seconds of and a little cooldown bar that you use it and it depletes the bar, and if you have a couple of seconds of an overpowered version of your weapon. It's super cool. Strategically speaking, it's super useful on Truxton because Truxton is super hard. So it's good to have like a couple of muscle, you know, every now and again to take a mid boss fight more easily.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Visual...
sounds like are you gonna buy it? Is it a day 1 purchase for you?
Honestly, I would say for now, yes. I had some fun playing it. I quite like the challenge. It's super hard because Truxton is super hard. I would say for now, yes. I want to see a little bit more. Looks like they're going to take down the demo on July. They're going to disable the demo in July. So
interesting.
Probably they're going to do like to build a second stage to put on the demo. I'm not sure about it. But I mean, they definitely know what they're doing, and there's another thing I like about it. It's so full of references, so full of stuff that they was very carefully selected from the previous games and reused. That I definitely, I don't know. I'm confident they're going to do a good job on there.
Awesome. Yeah. Dude.
And then I played, what else did I play? Oh, I played Terrain's new game, which for me, it definitely clicks because it's super based on compile shmups. And
I think I was interested in that as well.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice game as well. And and of course I played Interstellar Sentinel 2, the demo.
What?
Yeah,
I might know something about that game.
Yeah. I play it too, and I quite like it.
Wow, thank you. It's been a real labor of love. People have been losing their minds over this game, which has been really cool. So we had shout out to Zero Lux and to Magna and DJ Ear. Like this is really the first time I've let anyone play like what we've been working on for like the last 8 months, right? And Zero Lux loved the game, which I super cool. He loved it so much that he played it for 15 hours. think it's a 9-minute playthrough. and he got into the score system and he started like chasing the scores and he was like pulling it apart. He's like, normally I don't play for score, but he also really enjoyed the how we like to do our designs with the dynamic layering, right? Of like better, and if no one escapes, like you get better routes and more enemies. So he was just down the hole, and so I thanked him, fixed some bugs because we got a lot of good playtesting from Steam Next Fest. It was our first time in a Steam Next Fest, which was sweet. And then I reached out to him on the side too, and I was like, "Hey, come post your high scores in Discord because we've been tracking that, which is super fun." And then also I was like, since he was chasing it, he was like, "Yeah, I'm going for 200 million. I'm not quite there." So I had a caravan level sitting around in the back that I've been kind of also just prototyping. It's not fully fleshed out, but so what I did is I hooked up, if you make it to the end of the demo and you have 200 million or higher score, it takes you to the 5-minute caravan level afterwards. You just load right into it as opposed to ending the demo. So, and I was like, dude, I mean, 15 hours is amazing. Like he's probably one of our biggest super fans right now. And so I like was really cool just to be like, all right, since you're already doing it and you're having fun, here's a little something extra, and now everyone gets to enjoy it because we had a super fan. So it was the easy highlight for me over the last, because we've been cranking hard over the last few months on just everything for Interstellar 2. But it was super, super cool. By the way, good to see you, DJ Ear. Let me see. Let's catch up on chat for a second. Magda's saying it's visually sterile. That's how I would describe it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that was the trucks. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not talking because I'm paying attention to the guy. What the guy's doing here in Gradius 2, and he's like shredding.
Yeah.
He's destroying the game with double. He's not. He's look, here comes a scorpion. Oh no.
Oh yeah, scorpion bits.
And one thing that's interesting about Gradius 2 is how the strategy changes from one stage to another. Like it plays totally different, and you have to rewire your brain to whatever the stage is asking you. If you try to repeat what you did on the previous stage, you fail. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think one of the things that I really like, kind of my inspired designs, is when like enemies basically give you like their tricks, right? So like, you're like, hey, like for instance, like Moai heads, right? The way you approach them is different than like how you're gonna run through and deal with enemies from other levels, right? So, and you have to change your tactics for it. I always forgot like how much more they improved the animations here too, because these guys can rotate and turn around.
Oh yeah. Oh no, so this game was another level like of. Gradius, the series here was fully established and already like started to hit big numbers in terms of consoles and arcades. So,
do you ever play? I think it's called Universe. It was Gradius fan game. Like they went a little bonkers with like power ups and a bunch of other things, but they added a back shot and
no, not yet. I want to play. I want to play this one and Spolos.
Ah, okay.
Spolos is another Gradius-based game that's amazing as well.
Magnus said, "Oh, right. I had added more frames. Definitely." And Magna also says, "Yeah, Truxton is hard, but probably for the wrong reasons. Bullet sponge enemies feel bad to fight. I know, right? Yeah."
Nah, I don't agree. I think it's fun. I mean, some ideas they could be definitely be more, some ideas are probably a little bit rougher on the edges because Truxton is most of us, I guess, some of us grew up with the Genesis, the Mega Drive, and Truxton was one of the first shmups that most people played. We tend to imagine that the Truxton is a kind of a modern game. Like, okay, it was very popular back in the day. No, it wasn't. It was a little bit rough back in the day. And if you imagine like the amount of memorization, I think Truxton is one of the heaviest games in terms of memorization. Like you have to memorize pretty much everything. And once you memorize, you just don't die. if you memorize instruction top to bottom, like it's everything is hard coded, like nothing changes, everything behaves exactly the same way. So this is a very primitive design style, which of course like matches the time, the date and time where when it was like published. But of course, and I agree with that. I agree with this bit. Like it has to be improved because this doesn't work nowadays. Like you have to add more variety, more. It's not fun to play games this way nowadays anymore. But I like some ideas on some old style decisions that they took on the new Truxton. I'm not defending it because it's not even the final version, but at some point, I believe they need to make Truxton feel like an old game because it is an old game. Like if you play a very modern version of Truxton, like where it behaves like a Dodonpachi, you have the same problem. The guys from Alesti, the same problem they're having with the new Alesti branch. They're playing the people that play the Alesti branch say, this feels. Oh, look, that this is only using the missile. If they play Alesti branch, they say, no, this feels and plays and feels like an 18 Rising game, not a classic compound shooter. Of course not. Of course not. It's like 20 years younger, so it makes no sense. So, but I understand that some things you have to do in the name of the nostalgic fans that played Truxton back in the 90s. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think kind of just depends, right? That I like when enemies are a little bit chonkier, but not when all of them are chonky, right? It's part of the design.
Yeah.
But I also like one of the things I love about Einhander, right, is that when you come to fight the bosses, like once you find the weapons that work well for the bosses, you take these boss fights that are like 2 minutes and you shrink them down to 30 seconds or less, and it makes you feel amazing once you figured it out because they beat the shit out of you for a while, but then you're like, oh, laser sword. At this point, with the boss and the cycle, it just shreds, right? And you're like, oh, once you find those things out, they start to optimize a lot of like your playthroughs. I've always been a big fan of that in terms of like game design, right? That you reward players discovering how to find better tools or better routes, but also not getting it to the point where it becomes completely like boring. You want to have, you need to keep the moment to moment feeling good.
What I definitely don't like is the Euro shmup paradigm where you have to like every enemy on screen has to take like 3, 4, 5, 10 shots to die. This is definitely annoying.
Dude, look at this. This guy.
But if it's a mid boss, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Hey,
totally.
Zerlux, how are you?
Zerlux! It's like we summoned you. We were talking about you just earlier. I was sharing how, because of your efforts in Interstellar 2, that we rolled out new stuff to the community. So with the caravan mode for the 200 million score. So super, super cool. Hope you're doing well. Let's check keeping a look on. Let's see here. So Magnus says, let's see here. Oh, Interstellar 2 is turning out to be something quite special. And again, oh, thanks, man. That's awesome. Magnus says the difficulty and strategic placements for super weapon make the gameplay very satisfying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the super weapon, super cool.
Yeah, I think the I think we're gonna tweak it a little bit, but it takes a while to find those things that viscerally just really give the payoff. And the thing is when I built Interstellar, I built it to scratch itches that I hadn't fully scratched before, with a lifetime of playing shmups, right? And one of those is like just bonkers weapon system. Like it's a lot to ask, but because I have two fixed hardpoint weapons, whether we love them or not, like it is what it is. Those give you these interesting tools, but they also force you to change a lot. They like when your weapon sets change, they force you to like have to recalculate the way you're going to interact with enemies. And there's generally the ultimate curve where you're getting all the power-ups, like you're not dropping anything, and there's still enough variety there. But I found a lot of interesting happy accidents because the game also presented, just because I was looking for novel things, it created kind of what I'd call like an adventure shmup mechanics. So, like for instance, having a hidden secret on every level meant that like, oh, now you have a little dexterity puzzle on top of it that that has a big payoff if you get to it, type of thing. The pacifist modes, like those are the ultimate way to play through, but they keep the loop fresh, but they also give players the opportunity to have comeback mechanics. So players that aren't doing really well, they actually get significant power-ups coming out of it. And for players that are doing really well, then it resets their power-up weapon set loops. So it keeps it fresh for different reasons. And people, whether look, he's in the middle. Oh, it's so good. But it was interesting to see players play with those systems, and because they're not typical in shmups. Ooh, a broken dragon, dude, he just ripped it. Jesus. But that I think that as game developers, designers, that's the kind of stuff you want to explore, right? Like, if I can't find the fun in it myself, then it makes it a lot less interesting for me. And so, but sometimes it takes you a while. It took me a long while to go through the entire weapon system and kind of get to something that felt balanced. And even like the mathematics, you're like, oh, like these are 3 times more, like the strong weapons are generally 3 times more powerful than the rapid shots. And you're like, yeah, that doesn't feel good. So we wound up getting to 10 times more powerful. And yeah, it breaks things sometimes, but that's what you want, right? Is when players, I mean, you say this, Zorky, right? Like, you want to feel powerful when you're in the eye of the hurricane, and you're at the top of like like you've got all your power-ups going, and you're really just seeing everything. Being able to pay off on that and have these big payoff moments is huge, right?
My wife, she's a psychologist, and she of course she watches me play shmups every now and then, and she one day she said, I never fully understood why you like playing this, because they look so hard and oppressive. But now I think I'm starting to understand what's going on here and why you feel so happy every time you play it. Because you get crushed on a shmup. Like, you get devastated. Like, they throw even the kitchen sink at you. And you manage. Gradius. You find, of course, you don't manage. You don't beat it on the first time or the second time. You take some time to. The learning curve is super brutal, but she said, I can imagine the how much this trigger your dopamine, every time you manage to do something like that, and you say, okay, I just managed to do a little bit of progress here and there because I learned a small trick here to. She said that this definitely makes sense. Because it's something. I think there's something you don't pick up like immediately when you start playing, especially nowadays that you don't even die on the games anymore. So.
No, absolutely. Well, so there's a couple of things that I find really interesting, right? So, in life, but also with games, I like this idea of delayed gratification, right? Looking forward to something, and if the game doesn't put up any resistance, if there's no challenge, then the reward is kind of proportionate, right? Like, I know a lot of friends of mine, they are very happy to play games for the experience. They're like walking simulator folks, right? Like, that's okay. I'm not throwing any shade. Like, everyone likes games for different reasons, right? So I think that those principles are important to think about too, right? And it's like, that's why Souls-like games can become a verb for modern hard games, right? Because part of it too, aside from the power curve and the upgrading stuff, I'm about 10 hours into Night Rain now, playing it with my son. So, and there they tweaked the formula quite a bit. But I think that the feeling of making progress, getting better, the payoff, and then eventually, right, like when you are mastering some of the challenges, you can always, there's always more you can kind of pile up. And that's where like like speedrunners come from, and like people look at this thing. I've always loved this thing.
And this is the first the first appearance of this walker, and I never know what to do when this guy appears. I never know. I panicked every time I see this guy.
Man, I want to make a walker like this.
I never know what to do.
Making something like this. I have to do it in like little pieces though.
Oh no, the scorpion!
Oh nope, he died.
Damn it!
Oh damn!
Damn it!
Your options are mine.
Of course, no, yeah, of course. This is not a big problem because the game ends here, and I don't think the guy needs even to shoot at anything at this point now. But imagine the panic if this is the first time you're playing this, and you think, okay, now we're gonna fight the boss with one option.
So good. Zerlux says the sense of accomplishment after a chain of failures, and gaining progress little by little. Yep, absolutely right.
She said I'm fine. I think I finally understand why I like this game so much.
It's also one of my design pages from my design Bible. If there's no risk, there's no reward. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's empty reward. There, and like one of the things I love about shmups, right? I've been using the term point explosions lately, right? Like I was just like, oh, like that totally reminds me. So they're like, here's your points, and they're exploding everywhere, right? They're just so good. Oh,
look at this! Look at this sequence.
It's so good.
You're
right. I think Gradius too. They definitely were hitting their mark here.
No, it's for me, it's a landmark. It's a a new standard. Like they said, okay, there will be the before Gradius 2 and the after Gradius 2. Like I don't know. I like Gradius 3. Don't get me wrong; it's an amazing game. But 2 was when I first noticed. Okay, these guys are they're definitely taking shmups to a different level.
I think Gradius 5, we're way more modern at this point, right? On the PS2 side of that, but I felt like Treasure did such a great job, capturing the spirit of Gradius and then really like putting up one of my favorite games of all time.
Some people hate me because I say that, but I don't feel that Gradius 5 is a Gradius game somehow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It is a Gradius game, of course it is. But, I had played so much Gradius before Gradius 5. And when I played Gradius 5, I don't know, it had so many new mechanics. And it was, I had played so much Ikaruga before playing Gradius 5 that I couldn't help it but look at it and see that this looks like an horizontal Ikaruga game. Like it's basically the same team that designed Ikaruga, but it's weird. I don't know. I like it. Of course, it's good, but I
gotta tease that out of your gray matter. So
no, I have a problem connecting I have a problem connecting one thing to another. You see, like I think it differs too much in terms of visual design and not playability. Playability wise, it's on spot. But I don't know. There's something there that deviates too much for me.
Huh. I mean, they had the innovation with being able to change the direction of your options, right? Like you could lock them and all that.
I quite like that, but it's weird.
It was a good evolution. So you're more speaking towards like I guess the level flows and way they're set up that way, right? There was definitely more puzzle-like encounters. Like I really love the what they do with the where it was like, okay, here's the big on full screen bosses that are kind of trapping you in, and then like you dodging your lasers and things like that. So
no, this bit I think it's okay. I don't. It's hard for me to explain why. And I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying it feels detached for me. It feels like I don't know. I feel like Gradius guiding was like super spot on, super like. They definitely made, like, for me, it's the ultimate Gradius guiding. When Gradius 5 came out, I said, okay, now they're going to definitely implement something, do something different because it's Treasure working on a Konami game, so it should be something new and special. And of course, they delivered it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like it's cooked to be a different game. It feels for me, of course, I may be totally wrong about that, but it feels for me, it feels me that like they were like doing another thing and they reworked it and turned it into a Gradius, you know.
Mm.
I don't know. I may be wrong
Yeah,
about that. That probably
I,
doesn't make
I,
any sense, but I don't know. I have a problem connecting things.
I
And
don't think
of
there's anything wrong with that. I think that I mean, look, that it's art and it's opinions, and you know, it's also look, it's a different development team, right? Like, so you're not wrong. Like the fingerprint of the designers and operators that it, you know, it's not, while it's Gradius, it is also not Gradius from the Gradius team, right? So it's
Mhm.
this interesting kind of like, you know, like remix. I think I enjoyed it because of that, but I can also see where you're coming from for sure.
Yeah, it's like, for example, what they did with R-Type Delta. R-Type Delta
Mhm.
is an R-Type. You play it and,
Mhm.
I don't know, you feel it. Things behave the way they should in an R-Type game. But Final is Final. You know, it's
I
something
know.
else.
I know.
It's not the same thing with Gradius. It's a little bit more subtle. You know,
Mhm.
it's like they're doing like you know when it feels like a spin-off, you know,
Mhm.
like the same way Salamander feels like a spin-off. Like it's not bad,
Yeah.
it's different, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
And and
Mhm.
and 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 I definitely miss the familiarity of playing a Gradius and saying this is a Gradius game. I start feeling this again when I play the Wii game, the Gradius Rebirth. Gradius
Mhm.
Rebirth, when I played it, I said, "Oh, this plays and feels familiar. I like that." But in
Mhm.
Gradius 5, I felt like there was like a gap. It took me a while to kind of
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh no.
understand it and start
Mhm.
enjoying it as I should.
Yeah. No. And I think when you point out, and by the way, Adney was saying that
Adney is the guy
that they
that
got.
helped me on the previous marathon.
Oh, that's awesome. As
Yeah,
Adney, are you participating in BR Maratona 3?
yeah, he will. He will be with us,
Yeah. Cool.
and
Um.
he will be with me in Brazil in the event later, the
Oh,
Caravan Championship as well.
freaking out. Cool. Sweet. Sweet.
Yeah, yeah,
Super
yeah.
cool. Yeah, so Adney says that I have a hate-love relationship with Ikaruga. Magnus says it ruined me, ass. It's because this freaking the presentation value, like just alone, the production values of the game are amazing. What they managed to pull out of the polarity system, it was really like it feels like when you're locked into playing a game of Tetris and the puzzle is just you have no more room to miss and you're just like bam 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 like pop pop pop, right, like, and you're just so locked in. They managed to do that in this way that felt very like very puzzle mechanic-y.
This thing that
Very interesting.
Magnus said here is exactly what happened to me. I beat it and I never went to play it again. It's the same thing I said about
Mhm.
R-Type previously, right? Every time I beat an R-Type, I don't want to play it again. Like I said,
Yeah.
no, thank you. No, no, it's
Well,
enough. I had
art
enough.
type's very heavy memo too, as well. You know, like there's something to be said for a game that's actually just fun and doesn't walk that you know, because I mean, look, I am of the opinion going back to play Ikaruga. Like I would love to make a spiritual successor to Ikaruga, and then to have my own kind of like flavor on that. So maybe someday our engine and tool set will get us there. I think we're getting closer. But
Hmm.
because I really liked a lot of the way I felt when I played the game and kind of pulling out the polarity system and kind of, you know, how you like you crack the, you know, or you crack the code, right? But I also, it's interesting because I mean there, yes, like you have a few games that have obviously taken the mechanics now with the absorption and the reflect and things like that. So Gradius was one of those as well, right? I was like, okay, but it was an entirely different thing. Like they didn't nearly go ham on like the puzzle aspects, right? So all
So
right, what do we got next?
for the next game, I just noticed that they played Gradius 2 several times here. I think they were switching the difficult level. So let's go for
Uh,
Gradius 3.
all right, yeah. How much? Where are we at on our time as well?
Yeah,
So
there's one more. There's 3 and Salamander
okay,
2.
Okay, cool.
Gradius
Yeah,
3 is allegedly the hardest one. Every time you see it, every time you hear like a old school player saying something, it's about the evil Gradius 3 game.
Destroy them all.
And it's quite long as well, as I can see here. It's like twice the length of the previous ones.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, Adney says, and I will be ready to help you in third and fourth marathon too.
Oh yeah, Adney is quite a player. Quite a
Yeah. Thank you. It's,
Quite a-
like it's a good you know, I mean, one of the things that when we started talking a couple years ago, you and I, like the idea of bringing back like caravan competitions and, you know, having those experiences.
And he's a caravan guy in Brazil.
Oh, that's awesome.
He
I
has
was just
his
looking up
channel. His channel is just about caravan.
Oh, really? And let me click on him and see what this channel is.
He's playing. He's
Drop
he
a link
do.
for us, Adney.
He has lots and lots of playthroughs, and he's going to do a super play of Omega Blaster.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Nice.
But yeah, check out his channel. His channel is all about caravan games.
Yeah, drop me a link, Andy, Adney, if you will. Zerlux says also, I want Gradius 2 with 4 and 5 and gating, and then they can pack in a new Gradius gating 2. We have to make sure this first collection sells well. They already got my dollars.
Hear me out. Hear me out. If Konami start doing like a Kickstarter or something for Gradius Gaiden 2, I'm afraid I would spend like an unhealthy amount of money on it, because
Yeah, you're $500.
I wouldn't say $500 because this would like result in me like ended up divorced or something like that. But like, I would say I'll put like a hefty chunk of money on it, because
Destroy them all.
it's definitely something I've been expecting for a long time.
Oh, I forgot about this this boss. Look at this.
This boss is so mean. So the way it was designed, look at that. First, it triggers arachnophobia on people, like, because it's, of course, why not? Second, this thing is a Mongolian death worm,
Yep.
which it triggers, it's another level of nightmare fuel. So, yeah, they definitely knew what they're doing here.
I mean, all they need to do is hit the trifecta, figure out how to mix it in with white shark freaking mouth, and then there you go. Like, maybe I could create some nightmare fuel in that space. I'm not too far off. Adney says, same thing to me with flying shark when I achieve it. Yeah. Adney says, not so much. I'm only a caravan lover. That's all. Drop us a link to your channel, Adney, so I can make sure I'm subbed to you. Magnus says, tell your wife that $500 is for an investment and not personal hobbies. I don't know what
She has access to all the accounts here. She knows where I spent my money, but it will definitely cause me a lot of trouble. Like, but I will spend it either way. Like $500 for the new Gradius Gaiden. Okay, yeah, I think I can afford that.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I don't know. For the little for the Uplifting Goat Studio, I want to start a little Patreon thing there at some point, and be able to use that as an opportunity to just make caravan levels, and then do these releases like once a month. Just this interesting, like, it would be a great design challenge to have these 3 to 5 minute levels, remix enemies, and just, you know, like I've been thinking about as I've been doing the designs of Interstellar 2, I'm going to cut up these larger levels into like these smaller action set pieces. And that kind of frees me a little bit to just work on designing and tuning and iterating. Because so much what I wind up doing for the business, just as a hobby, is definitely not the gameplay all the time. And that's where I always feel a little guilty. So having reasons that could help me just hey, like here's another caravan level drop, right? Like another competition level, things like that. Because I think I could do them in I mean, with balancing and tuning, I think we could get some cool levels and action set pieces. I know, probably a few days, and then just from there have like a tuning and design paradigm. That so look at these freaking bubbles.
That's the infamous bubble level.
Cool.
The level that breaks the SNES version.
Oh man.
The SNES, on when it comes to the bubble level, it like almost freezes the game. Well, not anymore because the someone hacked the game and it now runs with the special chips. So it plays much faster, so faster that some people cannot beat it anymore. But
that's so cool. Look at that. Look at this amoeba thing. I don't think I've actually played this Gradius.
This is amazing. This is what I like about 3 is it's very customizable. Like you have tons of weapons to make your loadout. Some weapons are super crazy. Like there's one that mimics the the force weapon in R-Type. Force, not force. It's the charge beam.
It.
Wait,
are you talking about the front? The one you shoot out and comes back? Yeah, like the what is it called again? I forget.
Yeah, I can't remember now. But you can charge the beam just like R-Type. And you can make you can have like spinning options. Right? You can have spinning options. You can have fixed position options. You can have like spreading, opening and closing options. It's super crazy. The level of customization on this game is insane.
Wow. Oh, I'm really looking forward to the collection coming up for sure.
This is the first level of Gradius 1 again. They reuse this level every time.
I was like, when I look at this level, I always like chuckle about the scale, right? That's the other side too. I mean, look, the reason why I make horizontal shmups is because of, well, Life Force Gradius, right? And it really painted that idea of adventure. Like it's a little bit slower on the scrolling side of things, but the perspective and scale and how you navigate through the environment really just, I don't know, like, there's something that just really scratches all the itches for me. And look, Interstellar 2 at this point is very much in that vein of like environmental storytelling. We don't get in the way of the player, but it just like it's, I'm still dialing in a lot more of the subsystems, and we have to do like I've got so many things that came out of Steam Next Fest from watching players play that I got to address as well. So, but it's coming together. So super interesting. And that's all I owe it all to in a lot of ways to some of that early inspiration and with Gradius, which by the way, like, Einhander also did that for me. I mean, DJ Ear is making his own Einhander. Look at that. Oh my God. Up and down. That's so cool.
This bit is crazy.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Look at him. He picked him up too.
The guy needs to scroll down a little bit more, I guess. There's multiple paths on this level. Depending on where you go, the flow is completely different.
Yeah, I wonder how I don't know how I'd program that in my tool set. I think I'd have to just I could figure out how to do that. I have been really hesitant because I can do a follow cam, like a vertical follow cam like this, in scrolling. But the thing is I can only, if I set it up that way, I can only do it on a per level basis. So I can't do it. I can't make sections dynamic in that respect. Anyways, I digress. Too much fun. Let me take a look at chat.
I think it's probably make it continuous based on the top of the stage. So what you see on the bottom of the stage, if you scroll down, it's what you have on the top of the level. I guess. Like kind of a Pac-Man thing. You get in from one side, get from the other. I guess. I'm not sure about that. Should be interesting to make like a sprite map of this stage.
Yeah. Look at these giant walls. Ah, so good.
This is something I miss on shmups, a little bit of exploration, you know? Being
Yeah,
able to
absolutely.
take different routes without arrows pointing to, oh, go this way, go that way. No, you don't need the arrows, man. Explore the level and explore the level, see what the level has to offer and find your own path. Like, you don't need to, like what happened on Gaiaris, for example. Gaiaris has the same thing. Depending on where you
I,
are,
um,
you see, you have the option to scroll up and down and pick a different path.
Yeah, I think that for me, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, right? I love that aspect of it, but then the OCD part of my brain goes, I want to kill everything. And when I can't scroll to kill everything, it's just a different type of gameplay that I need to really explore. So
Yeah,
but I'm not ready there.
you're a completionist. You like to complete things, right? You had to like to beat. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
My-
it's not with all my games. Like I very rarely like get all the platinums in like a game or something like that. But in terms of like I don't know with shmups, I feel like extreme prejudice, right? Like just if there's an enemy on screen that threatened me, I don't want it to get away. Right? I've
Yeah.
always been that way. I don't know why.
My-
Probably because of Gradius.
yeah. My wife, she likes Mario, but she doesn't like Sonic for the same reason. She said Sonic's too fast, and she feels like she's leaving lots of stuff behind if she just play it too fast, start running across the stage, and she misses all the rings, and she doesn't like it because of that. But in Mario is way more self-contained, like you know where you have to go.
So chat, if you're having a good time and you're enjoying these, and we should keep doing these, type a one in chat. One for posterity.
Also, we are for now accepting suggestions of themes of course, like today we
Topics.
for topics. Today we discussed about doing this on the previous episode. We talked about doing this, and and I'm having a lot of fun reacting to games that are probably never beat this way because I'm way too incompetent. But anyway, if you have any idea for topics, just let us know. We are more than happy to discuss or bring it here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially anything design-wise, shmup-wise, classic arcade culture, classic gaming, modern gaming. I mean, we both spend a lot of time thinking and loving and spending time in the space. By the way, did I tell you, Zorky, that we went to the Shmup Slam 7 event? I guess when was that? It was like
Yeah,
6 weeks ago?
I saw you there.
Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, because you got the stream, right?
Yeah.
So that was my third one. So shout out to Mark and folks. Got to meet all these people that we've seen each other online and like in the shmup circles. So it was really cool to put names to faces. Elrock did commentary for our Interstellar run through. Look at this. It's crazy.
Look,
Is that
that's
mode
the
7? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely a super scalar effect they're using. This is an exclusive level. Only the arcade game has this. The SNES doesn't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, I forget. I have to look it up again.
But it's
totally
definitely the
reminds me-
inspiration. This is totally the inspiration for the Solar Assault, the Lost Gradius episode.
This is super cool. I think
It's a
technically I could
bonus.
build something like this.
It's a bonus stage. I don't know if you die if you hit the walls, but it's definitely a bonus stage.
Look how you just come out of that. They're just like rip right back to it. So crazy. Wow, that is nutty.
What I'm
Yeah,
curious,
so-
what I'm curious to see is the special version. This collection will have
Me too.
AEM.
That mode gave me a space harrier vibes. That's what. Yeah. I might have a space harrier game in me somewhere like that I want to explore. Yeah. So we did. It was in Colorado, in North North Westminster, and it was really cool. It took place at this barcade. The operators are really nice, and it's Brandon. Shout out to Brandon in the Akibara arcade. And it turned out like Like they kick out all the kiddies at like 8 p.m. It's open all day type of thing. They had about 50 cabs there, and they had a lot of really cool cabs for a lot of the rhythm games that are very popular still kind of over in the Japanese arcade. So, it took, not only did we do the Shmup Slam thing, we changed out a bunch of cabs for people that were excited to play. And it was 2 days in the arcade itself. And it was kind of like a bucket list item. I really want to make an arcade version of Interstellar Sentinel in our games as well. So, that's in the next couple years type of thing. But we were able, I brought my Steam Deck. There's external monitors. There's a whole wall where people can just bring their home consoles and just hang out and play games. So people would walk up and then be like, hey, come play like I had Interstellar 2 demo. I did commentary for people and they could talk and ask questions. And then shout out to our art team as well, because they looked at the game, they looked at me, they looked at the game, they go, you made this? And I was like, yeah, this is what we do for fun. And they were like, wow, like it was like it fit well within the whole like arcade culture, right? So huge bucket list item. I was so hoarse and burnt after 2 days of basically yelling over an arcade, and but it was awesome. So what we're gonna allegedly we're doing I almost got you to come this year, but next year it's gonna be in the same place. So I think that we could have a lot of fun. I would love to do a caravan competition now that we've got our kind of sea legs a bit. Because they have a big stage there, they have giant monitors, so and there's obviously the Shmup Slam thing itself, but I think we could run like a little caravan competition. It's open to the public, which is nice too, and I think we could kind of revive the format a bit. And there was 2 days of drinking and shenanigans and tomfoolery and fun. It was awesome, like so many great memories, but left me super exhausted too. I feel like in some ways I'm recovering after all, because Steam Next Fest was next, and it was just like, the hits just keep coming. So,
is there any other? This reminds me of that boss on Shinobi.
Oh yeah, it totally does,
Mandara boss.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, how often do shmup events happen in the US? Do you know? Is there the? I'm pretty sure this is not the only one, but was wondering if it.
So I guess it kind of depends. Like for instance, we have a couple. Like we have the PAXes, right? With there it's less shmup specific, but you do have like the arcade culture a little bit and kind of nostalgia. You have the indie culture as well, so there's some stuff there. There is a talking to me not long ago. Let me see if I can pull that up. About an event that I think just happened, which also was more of like a retro experience. But then you could, so he and I were talking about bringing our games and like showing there. It's kind of in that case, like you could have a booth there, and of course you have like, it's not shmup specific, but you do have GDC, which is more on the Game Developer Conference, which is more on the obviously the sort of business side of it. But it's neat there because we have a number of like GDC nights that they did this last year, or this year I should say. So you can, like for instance, that's a place where you could go and like expo if you wanted, and just connect with like developers and hobbyist enthusiasts as well. So shmup specific, I don't know, I have to look.
I'm just checking the what I see here in the video, that they are redoing the brain stage on Gradius from Gradius 1 with a Salamander twist on it. Look at that.
Really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, definitely very Salamander-y. And
I'm all right with that.
And it's halfway there. There's so much content on this game. Like it's exactly halfway there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think it was it $40 they're asking for this thing? Maybe it's less. Gradius Origins.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping, to your point earlier, I'm hoping that if they see value in doing it. So
even if Salamander 3's end up being a bad game, which I don't think is the case, Like the package itself is amazing. Like it's
Yeah,
having
there's
the
so much value.
M2, having the M2 treatment with all the bells and whistles on a package like that. It's priceless.
Zerlux says, I have a question for the doc. Were you influenced by Automedius at all? I was not. I don't even know if I know Automedius. I gotta go look that up.
It's
you
a
know?
spin-off. It's the it's a spin-off. It's a Gradius spin-off
Oh,
for the
Uh-huh.
for the modern the Xbox 360
How did I miss that?
and
Yeah,
arcade.
Automedius arcade.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this game, but some
Whoa,
people
it's,
some people
it's-
like it.
Well, it's crazy like anime
Yeah.
characters. Oh wow, it totally looks like a candy game. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh look, I see you have the different weapon ship configuration. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's got a so Xbox 360. So you've got like the particles and you kind of got the visuals from that. Yeah. This game actually. So you said you weren't a fan of this game, right?
I don't like it. I don't know. It's I think it's something between a Gradius and a Parodius, and
Yeah, I'm getting some
Don't
Gradius
know.
vibes here.
don't know what to think
It's
about
very-
it.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like a cute 'em up, right?
Yeah,
It's like a clean gal shells to some degree. Oh, like, and
Yeah.
then they got like some 3D here. I'm looking at that. Oh, interesting.
I'm not too big in cute 'em ups, by the way, so don't know. Though I don't know what happens. It just doesn't click with me. I end up not playing. The only one I play a little bit is Parodius, and for obvious reasons. And what else? I don't know.
Twin Bee.
Twin Bee is good. Twin Bee is okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. So interesting. I've apparently missed this. So thanks for that. Interesting. And then, so did you like it, Zerlux? Let me take a look at chat because I was looking at the other screen. Oh, let me catch up on chat here.
Man, this stage is insane. Look at that.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, Cotton's good. Cotton is definitely good.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of my buddies in the shmup creator community, shout out, Gengi. He also gets interesting. So he oscillates between cute 'em ups, like he did this really cute spell pause game, and that was kind of his learning project. And then now he's doing like a cosmic game, but he's got this like he's got a really cool, charming, like hand-drawn style. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. The world needs more cute 'em ups, I think. Sorry, is there sorry.
No, I have nothing
Sorry.
against it. I'm just not gonna play them, but that's fine.
It kind of depends too, right? Like, I mean, okay, so I wouldn't call Death Smiles a cute 'em up.
No,
It's more like a gothic anime kind of, right?
No, my problem with cute 'em ups is I don't know. I feel that I get too invested into the atmosphere and lore of the games much more than I should, and I end up not getting involved when it's a cute 'em up, because it's basically every cute 'em up is pretty much like a joke game. You know, it's not to be taken very seriously, and I like taking games very seriously, and sometimes I don't. I shouldn't. I
Hey,
know.
look,
I understand that I
it's all a vibe,
shouldn't.
right?
Yeah.
No, I
It's a-
definitely get it.
It's definitely why I don't play, for example, rhythm games. I don't. There's nothing there. I really enjoy the lore and the background and whatever's happening over there, even if it's a very limited content. For example, in Gradius, for example, is Gradius pretty much. I'm not sure if you know. There's a a series of books called Landsman from an author called E. Doc Smith. And Gradius ripped off a lot of stuff from Landsman. And I find it, I quite like it. But, and the Qtmaps doesn't have that. But for example, Cotton, it's interesting because Cotton is so fun and so well made that I end up playing. The same goes for Parodius. Parodius has so many references and it's so well crafted that I end up playing. But apart from that, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, they're not your go-to.
Twin Bee is good. Twin Bee is pretty good as well. But I can't name more actually. I can't remember most of that. Oh, there's one that I'm not sure if it's a Qtmap. It's called it's a modern one, and I played it recently and I quite like it. It's
Whoa, look at this thing.
yeah.
That is so cool. Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Harmful Park is good. Harmful Park is pretty good.
Totally. Yeah, good point.
There's another one from a PC Engine, which is similar to Cotton in terms of how you play a witch, which is very well done and very well crafted as well. I quite like it. Actually, I mentioned I don't.
Game, right?
I don't like. I mentioned I don't like Qtmaps, but I say I played lots of them. Maybe I like it. I just don't want to admit.
It's a guilty pleasure.
You say, no, you marry a psychologist. That's what you get. Like you're rethinking your words all the time.
We are all walking conundrums, right? Oh man.
Oh yeah, this is
cool.
the
I'm glad we took the time.
infamous cube level.
Ooh.
We got the bubble level. Now we
the
have the
stick.
cube level.
It's like Tetris. Tetris just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
I had this weird idea. I wanted to mix together like a shmup and like a super puzzle fighter. I haven't quite figured it out, but like I was like, maybe. But in like a versus style. I don't know. The options on the other side. Oh, interesting.
Jeez.
And they have. I mean, look, he's in the middle of the screen. Wow, look at that juke down.
Oh, some of the blocks you can kill.
Yeah, and some you can't, right? Like that's just total assholery right there. Look, see, nice. Back to the options there to pick out the turrets on the backside.
Oh yeah, this is the hard bit.
Whoa.
This is a crazy hard bit.
Oh, what the fuck?
They aim at you and they jump into you. Look at that.
Whoa.
It's super hard. Super random.
I guess you just. What? This is just all kinds of evil.
Yeah. This is super evil. Look at that.
Dude, I would.
You never know. You never know.
I would feel guilty making this.
You never know at what point of the screen they're gonna jump at you. Look at that.
Yeah, there's no tells for it. No.
Nothing. It's totally random. Look.
Wow, look at that.
You only know it's not before the first half of the screen, but past the first half of the screen. Look at that.
I mean, some of them. Well.
Yeah, some of them are jumping for the first half.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Interesting how it piles up in the back, though. Whoa, look at that.
Oh yeah, it's stacking up in the back of the screen, so you have less space to move.
Oh my god, this is like anxiety.
This pretty much looks my Monday to Friday life.
Oh my god, yeah, you're like
yeah.
Team A, Team B. Wow. And then they're like, hey, here's your reward. Time for a boss.
Yeah.
Wow, that is.
The boss?
I mean, there's something to be said for like I making something really hard, sure, you know, but I can do that, but I can't do that in a way that I can honestly give it to everyone. Like I want people to have fun too. So when I make the masochistic modes, like I'm like, okay, cool. Like Ella Rock shows she spent time getting good at Interstellar 1. Like she got her 1cc on heroic, and still not completely able to S+ tier rank all the. But then she's like, okay, I'm gonna pop down and start playing Nine Hells Boss Rush. And she was like, yeah, she was like, my brain is melting. Like, what did I ever do to her? And I was like, it's called Nine Hells Boss Rush. That's not called Have a Fun Time.
Yeah.
It tests everything you've possibly learned and some more because I knew new tricks. So super interesting. By the way, she just put up her first this week. She put up her new personal all-time best in the Caravan competition build with her first S+ tier rank too. Pretty awesome. Shout outs to Elrock for sure.
Well done. You see, Nate, there's another challenge for you.
Magnus says, oh yeah, puzzle them up. Totally. That would be super dope. Magnus says, make a boss just a Rubik's Cube that won't die unless you solve it by firing the right pattern. You can tell we're hanging out with a bunch of shmups.
I never managed to solve a Rubik's Cube using my hands. Imagine using a ship.
Yeah. Dude, look at this thing. Oh my god. There's definitely some evil going on here.
Oh no, they are.
All...
Konami here is like they gave up the all kind of fairness.
Mm-hmm.
and look at that.
This is Miyamoto's divorce Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
I am going to hate the player. Oh man. I kind of want to it would be really fun to experiment with a ship that has 24 options, as in Gradius options. But the options, they all don't they have, they don't, they're like short range weapons. So you wind up doing a big, it's almost like an advanced game of Snake, I guess.
No, I like the idea, but why not give it a D&D skin and make it they look like barbarians or something like that, and you have to stack to build you have to, instead of making a loadout, you have to make a party.
Mm-hmm. I like it. That's kind of cool.
You get the wizards with the long range weapons and the barbarians with the close range, and there are options, and you have to rearrange the positioning on the fly.
Yeah, I think that there you would almost take a page from Gradius 5 and give you a little bit more control over the options, so you'd have your formations. But that would be pretty sweet. I've had this game idea in my brain for a long time to explore, where it's a twin stick shooter, and instead of being a shmup, it's think about it more like from an RTS perspective. And you have just kind of what you're saying. So you have a squad, call it 30 characters, and you basically can then mix your squads together with the right analytic controls your formations, and then the left controls your movement. So big part of the game is get your shielders up in front, or switch them back so you can switch to your cavalry and things like that, but they all kind of run as one unit, and it's very fast paced, not slow RTS.
I'm mentioning D&D and the characters because I feel that one of the aspects that sometimes makes people not to get too invested onto shmups is the fact that playing a ship, okay, for us we do that all the time. We like the genre and whatever, but I guess most players want a character over there. They want to feel like they want to, I don't know, create some kind of I wouldn't say identification, but they want to, understand a little bit more what's going on there. And I feel like sometimes if we switch from a ship to something else, you immediately end up getting more people into.
I think, I think Mark actually did a video on this. I don't know, in the last year or so, and it was basically exactly what you're talking about. That one of the things that we're missing in a lot of shmups is we're missing the. It's not that we don't have characters, right? It's just not the vast majority of them, but we're also missing opportunities for character moments or character abilities or things that allow you to identify with the characters. I mean, it's no surprise, right? Humans tend to identify with humanoid shape, and humans more so than machines, right? So, and when you're abstracting to a pilot in a ship, like like it's a perspective, but it's harder to identify with for a lot of people.
And I found another problem here that actually I faced this problem right before we start doing this streaming. It's so hard to get like a proper wallpaper or a proper art or a proper, I don't know, proper anything from a shmup, you know? You get, of course, you get good stuff from Gradius, you get good stuff from R-Type, you get good stuff from Braiding. What else? So most of the top one games, you have artists doing nice art and wallpapers and whatever. But apart from that, it's super hard. Like I was thinking about, remember that I asked you, well, what do I use as a wallpaper? And I end up using this one, which is a pretty overused art. But it's hard to find, to get something like promotional. It's not just promotional art, it's art itself. Because people don't want to paint or spend a lot of time designing or drawing or whatever ships. But of course, it's much easier to do. And I'm not talking about AI. I'm talking about drawing and AI is pretty much a mess. But if you ask for a good, if you need a good artist, for example, and you wanted to design, like let's imagine like you wanna do the next Gradius, okay, Gradius 6. Imagine how hard it is to promote it. Like you have to find someone to, okay, I need someone to look at the mini walkers.
Yeah,
and they are indestructible.
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I've got a weird perspective on it too, right? Because
but
do
you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying like that. Like, okay, you need a good wallpaper with a ship. You cannot find it. And of course, it's much easier to draw it. It's much easier to make it if you were using a character instead. And not just that, but t-shirts. You want to do a t-shirt about your game, a ship. Okay, ships are ships. Like you can do it, but isn't it much more interesting to make it with a character? Look at this laser.
So I mean, yeah, I know that these lasers are nuts. Oh my goodness, that's cool. I like the design. Look at this one. Like, look at this crossover here. What the hell is that? What the? Wow.
You have to. Yep. Jeez.
You got to get your trigonometry together.
This is very R-type-ish.
Yeah, they are not fucking around right now. Holy shit. So Zorky, I think the only thing that keeps me from making a bunch of cool stuff is the fact that I just don't, it takes time. I mean, that's to your point, right? But I'm sitting on crazy high resolution art for all of my characters because we go through that as part of our design process, right? Every character in my universe, all of my bosses, main characters, enemies, I have all high resolution print friendly like stuff or assets. And so part of it, I mean, if I just sat down for an hour and said, cool, let me design a bunch of wallpapers, I could actually do that. I just need someone to be like, make the request, make me do it, and then I could turn out a bunch of stuff, right? But it's not necessarily my go-to.
Your case is different. Like you're an indie, pretty much like almost like a one-man developer producer. So it's yeah, of course you have your artists and whatever, but what I'm saying is, even for the big names, you don't see it. You don't see
a lot of character content, or you don't see them publicizing it. That's the other side of it too.
No, where are the good T-shirts? For example, of course, if you talk about Space Invaders, they're not exactly they're pretty much like pop culture nowadays. Like it's of course they belong to they belong to Taito, but it's like everyone there are doing, everyone that wants to do like Space Invader mugs are doing Space Invader mugs, and they're not paying a dime to Taito. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, for example, let's say, I don't know, pick a famous shmup. Let's say Darius, like you mentioned. Where are the Darius t-shirts? Outside Japan.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of, Darius t-shirts. I mean, I'm going to ask the internet. Let's find out.
Where are the Gradius t-shirts? Much. I think it's way more famous than Darius.
Yeah.
You may have some. I have one because I bought it straight from Konami. But it's like they have like what, 1 or 2 models. You know.
Yeah. Oh, or in this case, I'm looking at this here, and they take a lot of the box shots, the cover art from the from back in the day.
But then you for example, you if you want to make, for example, a Castlevania T-shirt. I'm not saying that because there's the Netflix cartoon, but like, or a Contra T-shirt, it's way more easier. Like you can find it way easier than because they're characters. You know, there's no first of all, there's
the screaming faces here of the flesh of these like flesh mounds. Oh, so good. This is so like this makes Magnus so happy. Anyways, keep going.
No, this is Gradius definitely sending the message. They are definitely a cosmic horror game. They're not pulling punches here. They're definitely saying, okay, this is a space horror, a cosmic horror game. This is not like just like our type. Which is another game from the Alien franchise.
Yep.
Where you see another example. You have a Funko Pop, those small dolls for Contra, for Castlevania, but not for Gradius. Why? Because it's not a character, So
yeah, no, that's a fair point.
A ship is you depersonalize everything when you reduce your character to a ship. That's a big problem. That's something I'm trying to look at that.
Whoa.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Big sword.
Wow, that is nuts. Like that
4
run,
teeth. 4 minutes.
Woo,
Jeez.
that is intense.
There we go.
And whatever range that was nutty. And that was some nail biters right in the middle of all.
Yeah, no, and the guy was definitely. The guy is very, very good, because like if I tried to do that, I wouldn't beat the game like with infinite lives and in 3 hours.
Yeah, that was freaking brutal.
Okay, we have one more to go, and it's a short one, which is Salamander 2.
All right, because I'm out of coffee. Maybe I'll go get a coffee.
Yeah, and here in UK, I can hear the birds.
Yeah, I mean we're a little long on this episode.
We have one more to go, and that's a short one, 16 minutes,
right.
and that's it.
Let me
Salamander
pop
2.
Popping out for a coffee real quick. Back in a second.
All right, let me pause it.
Coffee.
Pause it now. I'll keep it running. Here you guys, Salamander 2. The guys playing with Player 2. As you can see, there's no option, there's no weapon selection bar. It's whatever you pick, you keep. And that's a very interesting bit here in the beginning. I already watched this first section here. There will be the mini brain. Yeah, right now. Lots of baby brains on top of the brain, and the mini brain, and the mini brain is here. I always try to kill this guy and never managed to. And I never thought it was possible. But look at that. The guy just killed the mini brain. Seriously, I've been playing Salamander 2 for like years, and I never managed to kill this guy. And the Konami's pilot just did it. This is not a very hard game. Actually, this is a very good entry for beginners. And this game is super fun. Good representation of the first level of Salamander. With much more detailed graphics. Look at that. They repeated the same small brain just to make the serpent come and eat it. This is the first boss, this multi-eyed serpent. You see, tell me that this guy doesn't, this serpent, this boss, this stage, all these graphical elements doesn't belong to the super cool t-shirt. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of having a portrait of character reacting, getting hurt or shooting. Exactly, exactly. A sheep doesn't, you know, reflect anything. It's a pretty sterile medium. So you don't have, you cannot, there's not much you can do with a spaceship. If you do, like, for example, a mech, like a Gundam or something like that, is different. You see a human form over there, which you can relate to. I think the word I was looking for was relatability. I saw that you guys posted something here, but I guess it's relatability, you know. You don't relate to it. It's very hard to relate to a spaceship. I mean, we do it because we were trained to do that, but it's very hard to relate to it. This is a special...
Which Gradius is this one?
This is Salamander 2, Stage 2.
Oh, okay.
And you missed the bit where the guy killed the boss that I thought it wasn't killable, the mini brain, in the beginning of Stage 1, but you can rewind it and rewatch it.
Okay,
Super
yeah, I'll
fun.
check it out.
I never thought it was possible. And here he's using the ripple on full power.
Wow. Wow, yeah. Dude, I need it. I'm so looking forward to this collection. Oh my goodness. All right, let's. How are we doing on chat here? Let's see here. Zerlex says I'd wear that.
Yeah, definitely. Man, there's so much good art that we could
Arrow flash.
we could use, like, on so many shmups. I guess the industry is underestimating our urge to get shmup items just because.
Well, I also like one of my weird dreams is like if you can take a look at like. So, this is I wear these to like. This is my you know my button down collared, like I go to work and I'm a like software and game development kind of dude, so it works. But I really want to make like these are these like these really high print, high contrast, high color. They last forever. They're primarily polyester, but I would love to take the art that I've been building, that we've been building, and then to make my own custom line of shirts. The problem is I haven't found a manufacturer quite right to like make these types of shirts, but the DrBossKey prints and like a lot of the character designs and the environmental stuff. Wow, look at this, by the way. This is awesome looking. Oh my god.
It's a reimagination of the first level of Salamander's first level, I guess.
Yeah, the background. Look at those giant stalks. Oh, it really is. And look the contrast. Oh, look the fade outs. So cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Okay, now my coffee's done brewing. Back in a second. Dude.
Yeah, that's the wave cannon. Can't remember the name now. This weapon that's exclusive to this game. And now I finally understand how to properly use it. Ah, yeah, it gets depowered. Yeah. Jeez. It's okay. I don't understand how this weapon gets hotly powered. Also, the player, the guy that's playing this, he refuses to use the blow the options and turn them into the homing lasers. I think he used it only once since the beginning of this run. But yeah, this level is amazing. Look at that. He's fighting a spaceship armada. Many battle cruisers.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Very
Yeah. I never played Salamander 2.
Macross-ish.
Yep, totally.
You never played Salamander 2? Come on.
I'm not.
Super cool, especially on co-op. Actually, it's made for co-op.
Ah. I would definitely
Have you tried the play together, the Steam play together, the
no, not really. I've seen some friends play with it a little bit. So
I was wondering how well it works for shmups like this.
it's okay. It's okay. Because a lot of it's I mean, there's no official, like the way they do the syncing, it's just okay. You can fall out of sync pretty easily. But I know I was looking at it 2 years ago. There's still people that are playing with it and they're trying to improve it. That's cool.
Adney's popping out. Valeu, Adney.
Later, Adney. Yeah, Omega Blast Train is waiting. Until next time. Thanks for hanging out. Oh my god. God, that planet is gorgeous.
I love the pixel art that is something similar to the pre-rendered 3D graphics from pretty much every game from the end of the 90s.
Wow, look at this. Yeah, right? I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I go back to look at like...
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like that early polygonal style. I know some people are like into it, you know, it's just not my... It wasn't my favorite, my favorite point in the game industry at that point. So some of the pre-render stuff was okay, but it was like, everything kind of became very mushy. So
yeah, the problem I guess is they started to overuse it a little bit, and everything was turning into something similar to a Donkey Kong Country rip-off.
And I mean, at the end of the day, too, right? It still comes down to the aptitude and the artist. Even pixel art. There's like you can jump in the hole of making great pixel art because there's plenty of bad pixel art, right? Like just not great looking pixel art. And when you start to get into stuff like, oh, like this is how you're going to shade your pixels, and this is what a half pixel looks like, and this is where the outlines for, like, there's just a whole, there's a whole series of techniques, right? And it's, in a lot of ways, it's mostly just a high-end, or not a high-end, it's just a hobbyist art form because no one's really making, it's not entirely true. But, like, you got your own limitations with pixel art as well, so. I mean, eventually, I think we'll make the move to 3D. I mean, that's the nice side effect of being able to. Like, we're not going to go back to our old titles and change that, but I am curious. So I want to see. Like, it's one of the things that was really sad about Signy, All Guns Blazing, is the production values for the art were fantastic. Like, I was like, oh, this is great. Like what they got, and it's getting easier and easier every year with. Unreal Engine to make like just jaw-dropping visuals. But at the end of the day, it's also just kind of silly because it's like, what does 3D give you? Rotation.
Right? Now, a friend of mine, that's another joke from Signy. I feel bad for doing it, but anyway, friend of mine said, give me the best definition of what Sigmy is. He said, it looks like the next Gradius 5, but it's a Nero shmup.
Euro shmup, Gradius Euro shmup.
Yeah. Hi, Zerolux. Thanks for popping out. Thanks for...
Thanks for hanging out, Zerolux. Night, bud. Thank you.
Bye-bye. But yeah, it was supposed... This is exactly how Gradius 6 was supposed to look like, but not how to play like.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
They had some really good environment. They had some good action set pieces too. Like they had this one level where you were flying down these canals, and these canals were waterways, and then they did this thing where they split the waterways like with geometry, and you could crash into them. But they warned you with pre-warning indicators where they were coming, and so you were kind of navigating like waterways. It was really good. And now having the right level of control to navigate through those channels is another story, but I mean, we can't all make bangers, that's for sure. And sometimes it takes a while. I think the saddest for me is that, they're dealing with Konami. So, like there's, when you have a publisher, there's like, okay, like let's move on to the next thing because, keeping the, like that's one of the things that happens like with a lot of like early access games or indie beloved games, right? Like, I mean, even like critical mass beloved games with like Baldur's Gate, right? Like the latest one, right? So I mean, they were in early access for like 3 years. There's something to be said for them. That's just it was a crazy AAA game, right? So, but there's something to be said for, I think, having your work be out there. Now, granted, it comes with a whole other commitments and how you do your game production and, communicating with your player base. There's a lot of feedback, right, that's going to come. And as you're changing things, like there's a lot of,
another very Giger-esque level.
Yeah, I know, right? Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Whoa, that's tough.
The problem with the early access, I mean, I feel that it's like you're paying to be a beta tester.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Which some people don't mind. That's how they love it. Since I was a professional game tester for, it's where I started my career in the industry. I have a really hard time, not getting paid and basically doing it for free for the love of the game. Now, they also look early access now for the last like 5 years is not really access.
Yeah.
Previous. So you've usually got a pretty like, you've got a decent core loop together, right? Like you are going to tell you what you can expect type of thing. So I usually still very rarely will I dip my toes in an early access game. But if it's really popping off and people are like, oh, there's a lot of good fun content here, it's not too buggy, I will check it out, more motivated. Look at this, man. More motivated, by multiplayer. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing this one.
Player 2 ship suddenly became red.
Yeah.
Was pink, now it's red. That's fine.
Yeah,
Small detail. Nobody will notice that.
All your baseball on our ass.
Okay, folks. I think that's all.
Yeah, what time is it for you right now?
So 4:35.
Oh,
that's okay.
Yeah, you were just going crazy. I was like, come on. You're like, just one more.
Yeah, I know. We have to do all the games, right?
Yeah,
it's much shit. Yeah, that's it. Well, I think we have a good idea of what to expect from the Gradius Origins collection, right? So
I'm pretty stoked. I'm so glad. Now the question is, am I gonna buy it for the PlayStation? Probably will, because that's usually where seeing the games on the OLED and the giant screen also really does it for me. So,
wow,
they might get me for a double purchase.
Well,
or maybe I'll refund my Steam side. I don't know.
No, don't do that. We have to play it live. on the live play together. That will be fun.
Yeah. Okay. We can definitely make time for that. That would be super fun.
Yeah. All right, folks, I have to go. Thank you so much for popping out. And I think we see each other. Oh, the next episode will be fun because we're gonna have we'll do the post-mortem of the marathon. So I think we'll have a huge lot of subject to discuss. But anyway, thank you so much for popping out, and see you in the next chapter. See you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.